crap. I didn't expect changing that setting would just make it work. Is it working? Dockable windows. Dockable window. Dockable windows. YouTube. Oh, it signed me out. Crap. What do I do now? That's my password, right? Why do I have to do this again? I said remember me. Shoot, 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 shoot. This is what I get for experimenting. Yes. Yes, it's a me. Okay. Now what? No current live streams. Refresh. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Close that. This. Switch account. Admiral Ellis. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I've got that there. Oh, I have an insert ad button. Awesome. Okay, you can do that. I can also see it here. Hello, Jebediah. You're the first person to arrive. Let's copy that link to the clipboard and drop it over here in streaming and recording. And Viola. Voila. Welcome to another episode of Under Construction. I have already remembered to set root layer, and I have been flying around looking at this place and thinking, But before we can do much thinking, of course, we have much more important things to attend to. Let me real quick boot up, of course, our obligatory warm-up game, not Tetris. I know everyone's excited to play. Hope everyone's having a perfectly, oh shoot, cromulent Thursday. Nailed it. This one here. Put this over here. Got it. Perfect. Another one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this one fit. Uh-oh. Not exactly my intention. Let's see. Okay, well that's going to be a little awkward, but we'll put this one over here. Okay, perfect. This one can go right here, actually. Oh, no! Oh, no! Nudge. Oh, it didn't work. I don't know what we're going to do now. We're getting into over there. Oh, shoot! That was too fast. No! Oh, no. Okay. Long one. Put it over here. Z block. Here. Hi, Bender. Actual footage of Bender reasoning with his computer last night before the Locodome match, which I cannot spoil, but I'm looking forward to that one coming out. There we go. And there we go. See? There. Oh, no. That's not good at all. Bender, I know how it feels to struggle for hours and not, like, and the computer still doesn't work. I was feeling so bad for you when I found out that that it wasn't starting, you know? Because it just feels devastating. It racks you. It makes you not want to mess with it. You know, it makes you not want to do stuff. I was so willing to postpone your match, just solely on the basis that you were just like crushed by the weight of having to deal with your computer and it not working. Because I've been up until, I've been up until 4 a.m. doing this, and someone said to me earlier today, I think it was actually TJ a few minutes ago, before we got started, that, like, I punished my computer or something, by having so many Chrome tabs open, and I said it gets what it deserves, because it does. It does. It gives me grief, and so I give it grief. Oh, shoot. Okay, over here. Okay, and then this guy needs to go over here. Oh, that should have been a line. Oh well. Okay, what about this one? What? That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Oh. Neither is that. Come on. There. There. Okay. Got one. Missed. Got two more. Okay. Come on. Right there. Yes. Get this guy over here against the wall. Okay. Get him up against the wall. Alright. Let's drop that there. Okay. It's almost going to sleep. Dragon, you're allowed to go to sleep. This will be here tomorrow for you to watch. I know you and Tyler, you can't miss not Tetris, but this is not good. Not good. Okay. Should have turned that one upside down. Okay. Over here. This one's good upside down, or right side up, or whatever you want to call it. No! Shoot. Come on, that's not one? That is. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take anything at this point. That's not good. We're going to keep working on Bellington. I think most of our work is going to be towards Bellington in the immediate future, because we need to push towards getting the route in a state where I can do the next release, and that means getting done with Bellington. I don't think that doing the scenery in between Bellington and the current edge of scenery is wise, because I feel like there are still too many variables. Alright, let's put this here. I should have waited on that. We're so screwed. We're so screwed, guys. We're screwed. Come on. No! Alright. Didn't even get close. Oh, no, we're not going again. We're done. We're done here. We're done with Not Tetris. Alright. Let's turn off that stream. Alright. Welcome to Trainz. I'm already out of water. I filled up my water before we started and I'm already out of water. Do I have a cough drop? Yes, I do. It's a disaster in here. I'll tell you that much. There we go. I was out in the cold. I was talking my head off all day today. It's been quite a bit. Alright, so Bellington sounds like a small town that got cucky with industry and ore nearby. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say ore, but they definitely have aggregate nearby. But yeah, Bellington itself would, in fact, be pretty much what you describe. We need to think about Bellington itself. I feel like South Bellington is a pretty known quantity at this point. Sorry, I just need this cough drop or else I'm going to die. Pretty known quantity at this point. It's kind of one set of blocks right here. Main drag with some industries on it, which I do need to continue extending that. And we probably are going to have something on this side of the road. Actually, that's a good point. So I wanted to make some things parallel with this road, because this would have been once upon a time the main road. And perpendicular with that road. And part of me realizes we have to sort of envelop. Hey Brian, we have to envelop this stretch here. Aggregate, what type of aggregate is a good question. Maybe some limestone aggregate, and I know that's not necessarily something, but I'm using aggregate in the generic term right now because I don't know exactly what sort of commodities we're going to use, but it's going to be stuff that goes to the cement plant, as well as probably limestone in some form that can be used for the steel mill. All right, this is 140 degrees, and we need 140 degrees plus 90, or minus 90, but in this case it's plus, so it's 230, which we're going to go this way, and hopefully we don't nick the corner of the river. Oh, I didn't get my daily. Oh, crap. I need to go further this way. 230, okay. And let's just go 5,000 feet, and we'll call it. We haven't hit the river, which means we missed it, which is good. Because this is going to be probably River Avenue, right? Would be a good name for it. And it's going to be parallel to this road down here. Or at least it's going to start out that way. I think I want to bring it in closer here. Maybe bring it all the way over to here and then have it curve like this. And then come in here. It'd be offensive to do the Japanese tree on Pearl Harbor Day. That's kind of funny. Yeah, that's a good point. I was at the World War II Memorial a couple of years ago on this very day. I was visiting DC. And it was a very surreal sort of feeling. Because it was not my plan. I did not intend to be at the World War II Memorial on Pearl Harbor Day. Alright, so this goes this way. And I don't know if limestone is used in cement. Limestone is used in steel milling. Or in steel making, I should say. And that's what I want it for. Because I know we're going to have a large steel mill on this route. So we need the limestone to come from somewhere, and it's going to be up in the hills, and this area is probably going to be part of it. But no, the aggregate we need for cement, ingredients of cement. Let's see. Oh, shoot. No, limestone is included. Cement is manufactured through close controlled chemical combination of calcium, silicon, iron, and limestone, or aluminum and iron, and other ingredients. Common materials used to manufacture cement include limestone shells and chalk or marl combined with shale, clay, slate, blast furnace slag, silica sand, and iron ore. Okay. So, limestone is the main ingredient of cement. I guess I didn't know that. I didn't want to be giving out false information here by just blurting out limestone because it was the first rock I thought of. But apparently I had something. Apparently I was really onto something there. Did not expect that. We're just going to mess with the ground a little bit here to make sure it's high enough above the river. And there's another person on my friends list playing Railroader. Who could have seen that coming? Apparently the automatically research points got me the A5 M4 overnight. Yeah, I mean, I would assume that there was a game going on that you died and left, and then you got the points when it finished. That tends to be how that goes. Except sometimes updates, they reduce RP cost for things, and that makes that happen as well. Let's turn the sensitivity up on this. I kind of wanted to raise this area here. Railroader so far is kind of alright so far. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to playing with people, but I feel like the single player experience is kind of, you know. Um, I'm not expecting much, but I think it's okay to set your expectations kind of low. I mean, you can only go up from there, you know. Um, I feel like it'll be more than a flash in the pan as people sort of build out and expand and get more use out of their railroads. Limestone is used in water treatment, purification, even. Limestone is very useful. Is it useful in the 50s? Good question. Probably. I mean, I don't think our usage for limestone has changed much in the last 100 years or so. It's always been known, as far as I understand, to be an incredibly useful material. Even beyond the sort of modern usage of it. Limestone, I mean, quicklime was a part of. Was that not a part of like Roman cement? Uh, that's sort of what I'm getting at. Okay. Um. Hmm. You know what? I kind of I want to put a little like a road in here, sort of thing for some sort of businesses or whatever. And yes, I do intend to have a I do intend to have a six-way intersection here. Reminds me of Middletown. I hate that place. Okay. So we're gonna have it here, and then I want um, that's right. I'm still out of water. I want another block that goes this way, and yeah, I want another block that goes this way, and then a road that crosses here, and then a road that crosses here. Megman just sneezed. All right. So let's. I need to sort of think about this. I need to almost think about this like I'm playing SimCity. You know, I'm zoning my hypothetical locations, right? I zoned my first commercial, my first residential, and then I zoned more residential and more commercial and industrial. Um, and I know I've talked about how much I wish we had a city builder that went through time properly. And we're talking, I know. What's the Russian one that Mason bought me? Very kind of him, by the way. Um, he got me workers and resources, that one. And he got me that one, which was very nice of him. I still haven't had the time to play it, but at least I am, uh, I am aware of the things in it, which are the city builder through time aspect. You know what we're gonna do? I actually am gonna pull this out a little bit more. We're gonna go to 550 feet. Yep, right there. And I'm going to put in a road that goes... Who pinged me? Elizabeth, New Jersey. New Jersey. Yeah, I mean, I don't... I mean, maybe don't remind me right this second, Mew, but... Oh, I don't think he's watching. The thing I think of it, anything about limestone in the 50s, but since in AU, we can say that we use it for the stuff and also crushed limestone is a very good fertilizer. That is a good point. And that is a good reason why limestone would be useful in this area around this fertile land. Around this farming area. So we could have limestone going in as fertilizer. We could have other stuff. Alright. I want to have some pretty closely spaced streets here. I need another ruler, though, so I make sure it's straight. And 140, right? I need to see where this lands. Right here at the entrance to the bridge. That's actually pretty perfect. I'd like to think that I'm one of the luckiest people that's ever lived, Dragon. I'd like to think that I'm so incredibly lucky. I have tons of awesome friends. All of you folks. I have a woman who loves me more than anything in the world. I have a lovely dog and cat, and I just went right past the railroad. Where is it? Right there. Okay, we need to stop here. I have a college degree. I managed to get into my #1 school despite taking no honors classes. I have never been in a serious car accident or anything like that, which is a frightening. I've never been hit by a car. I learned that 2% of all Providence residents, one out of every 50 people in the city of Providence, has been hit by a car in the last 10 years. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. It's like 4,000 people or more. I don't actually know what 2% of Providence population is. I should probably look that up. I just saw the statistic and I thought it was whack. But yeah, I feel like I am an incredibly lucky son of a gun, and I get everything. Wait a minute. Wait. No, it is 275. 275 is half of this. But yeah, I consider myself an incredibly lucky person. And that's not just to undercut the things that I've actually done and earned in life. I mean, I've worked my butt off in lots of cases and lots of places, but some opportunities present themselves irrespective of any effort that you put in life. You can seize the moment. You can take the opportunities you're given, but you have to recognize those opportunities. But first of all, you have to have those opportunities. Not everybody does. All right, where will the limestone mine be? Will it be off map? Probably that way. I wouldn't say off map, but up this here. We do have, if I remember right, we have a small limestone deposit, or maybe it's just some other kind of aggregate here. Let me double check this. But I think it's limestone. Because I like limestone, it's very good. Yeah, look at that. Products pack. Let's see what it says. And limestone. Yep, limestone aggregate. Okay, so we have that coming out of here. This open pit. But we will have other places for limestone and other aggregates. They will be coming from in the hills. So either up the mountain extension, which is this way, or beyond. Okay, I did say we were going to do some adjustment over here to make this a little more realistic. Let's see. I wanted to... Nope, not you. Let's just sever this right here to keep this the right direction. Actually, you know what? We'll do this. We'll cut this back to here. And then we will add a road from, say, right here to right here. We'll cut this back to right here. All right, cool. So that's something that I wanted to do, just to make some variety in this area. I'm not sure about that pit being limestone because it's created by pressure and apparently dead animals. I mean, limestone can still be brought to the surface with the, you know, metamorphosis of, or, you know, with the arrangement of rock. But let's see, limestone mine. Yeah, okay. There's some limestone mines on the surface. There's plenty of ones underground, but there's limestone mines on the surface as well. Limestone quarry. Yeah, there are plenty of limestone quarries. Maybe it being so close to the water would be unusual, but the thing with this area is it's supposed to be vaguely Appalachian, and so we're talking mountains that are extremely old, you know? So anything that had been buried and crushed has likely been brought to the surface by this whole, you know, by millennia, if not millions of years of, uh, you know, of twisting and bending and moving and fusing the rock. All right, yeah, though this is actually selling me on what I need here. I appreciate you looking up limestone, though. I really appreciate fact checking. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know anything is the issue. I'm really dumb, so and that's not necessarily sarcasm. I'm saying that, you know, like I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I act like I do. I certainly would like to think that I seem like I do, but I don't. All right, we're going to go look at Woonasquatucket Avenue. Although this area is pretty hilly, which this area right here that we're working at is not. So, yeah. The main roads are, generally speaking, away from the the river. Mostly because that's where all the disgusting stuff was. Fastest fact checker in the West. They should hire you for the presidential debates. Anyway. Oops, political. Okay. So, we've got 2 more blocks of our world figured out. Now what? Because this right here is... You know what? I will make... We need this to continue in this direction by some measure. This isn't going anywhere. This is a dead end now. Yeah, no, I'm gonna curve this like this, I think. So we're talking, because I want to keep it, I want to put it parallel to that one right there. Straighten this guy out. And yeah. So like that. And this is an important road. So this would have come after that. I think that's parallel, close enough. This area is, again, it's gonna be Mill City. Um, my issue is getting through here. You know, this is pretty, like, that's barely high enough to do an overpass. And honestly, though, I think we should make this area higher. And I started to. I lifted this up. So, is this the industrial zone is kind of an important question. Because I need to figure out what is and what isn't. Because this Hog 19 is a lot of what I was... You know, this area is industrial. And most of the area along the river is industrial. But these small blocks, these are going to be residential. Along the main streets here is going to be commercial, as you might imagine. And originally I was thinking the downtown of this town would be, or of Bellington proper would be over here. But honestly, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think this is sort of an outgrowth of the town, and the original town would have started over here, just across the river from South Bellington. But, well, maybe not the original town. You know, maybe the oldest parts are around, excuse me, this vicinity, and then it migrated in this direction. So, yeah, the industry would have sprung up around the river mostly because of water power. It's not a navigable river. But I need to sort of, I need to figure out the arrangement between... So, when the railroad came through here, when they built it through here, they would have cut a bunch of roads. Now, the thing is, this right here, this road definitely would have continued. Hey, Mopac. Hope you're excited for your semi-final match. We haven't figured it out yet, but we will. So, this would have been severed. And would have looked like this. But the thing is, actually, it probably would have ended right here. Because there's nothing in this direction. Well, okay, I take that back. Because this goes this way, right? Yeah, no, and that's that side. So you're coming down this way, you go this way, you cross the river here, and then you take a left and you continue that way. Yeah, it's supposed to happen. We might have the bracket done before Christmas. It's looking like we're going to have the bracket done before Christmas. The war will be over before Christmas. The overpass not being high enough for lorries are also... No, probably both. My measuring stick is a high cube boxcar. So, yeah, I don't think you'd be able to fit lorries under that over there. You can barely fit them under here, and we'll probably have to make a little bit of a dip for an underpass. Baby? Could you get me some water, please? It's right here. I refilled it, and then I sucked it all down before I even started, because I was so thirsty when I got home. Thank you. That's not high enough for a person. Yeah. No, this is pretty low. We will have to make a duck under. This is just going to be severed, I'm pretty sure. Because this is already coming... I mean, this is either flat or it's coming down. Yeah, it's coming down. And I was thinking about making one of these roads, like, ramp up and come over. In fact, I might be able to do that with this one right here. Yeah, okay, I might do that. Um, it's fascinating to see a traffic engineer working through this, thinking about the roads in the same level of detail as railroads in this game. Yeah, I know. I'm like I said, I'm trying to pretend. Yeah, you definitely have some history with that severed road. I agree. I'm trying to pretend I'm playing, City Skylines. I'm trying to pretend I'm playing SimCity, and I'm making.
SimCity?
Yeah, I'm trying to make a road network that, like I've planned it out.
Hi, everybody.
Gloria's here. Um, and this is gonna wear Brendel's off map. That actually feels pretty good on my gross hair. Yeah, I'm next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out on site all day. I'm like sweaty and gross. Even though it was 30 something degrees out there most of the day, I was in and out of the car. I was
My poor love.
Bellington was planned. No, not planned in the way that we think of a planned city. Planned insofar as uh planned insofar as we have, you know, people figured it out over time instead of me sitting down in the present and drawing out a bunch of stuff. Because despite, even the most chaotic city has thought put into it. Even Boston has thought put into its road network. And it's a lot of thought. Um, it's just spread out across hundreds of years in ways that don't necessarily don't necessarily seem clear to us looking at it from a 21st century perspective, looking back at everything that has been built and saying, wow, this makes no sense at all. And it's true. It doesn't. It doesn't from our modern perspective. But it made sense to the people that were building it when they were building it. Um, like, I mean, look at the array. I mean, it's tough to see because they disappear when you zoom out. But look at the arrangement of roads in this place. Yeah, we have one. We have effectively one grid pretty much because everything was built around this road here. We're gonna be changing that, I bet, in the not so distant future. But it is it is what it is. It is uh, it does show that this town that was built on relatively flat land is the other thing. It's relatively flat. Um, was built off of a couple of ideas, and it's basically foundationally off of this intersection right here. Um, that's the other thing. A lot of time people don't. Oh, I appreciate that. That's very nice. That's very kind of you. Uh, I a lot of people, maybe they do, maybe they don't. People build insular blocks in their road networks. Like, what I mean to say is, people build. Wait a minute. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. I see what's wrong here. People build sort of like a bunch of square blocks next to one another. They build a grid. They don't necessarily plan for the fact that there should be a bunch of aberrations in that grid automatically. Like, without hesitation, there are going to be aberrations in the grid. Uh, you're probably going to have a road that goes diagonal. You're probably going to have a road, some blocks that end early or are double size or are open-ended or something like that. I mean, we can go and look at Pan Am and see how well I've followed those principles. But it's worth discussion. Let's do that. I mean, let's go look at Pan Am for a sec because I don't think it's not a poor example of this. And you can see it from space. You can see the road network here, and you can see that it is pretty much gridded. It isn't aligned with the track. It's aligned with one main road. The reason this main road is here is because it's aligned with sort of the shortest distance between this road and the track. Now, ideally, what I may have wanted to do was build something that's parallel to both, because I mean, let's face it, it is parallel to both. Uh, but it's aligned this way because of this bridge here, and the road goes this way because of that bridge there, and then everything is aligned by grid to uh, to this road and thus that bridge. Honestly, this is a weird one to justify, but it is pretty well gridded. But there are plenty of roads that cut the grid. There aren't actually any double length blocks. Oh, there's one right here. There are some double length blocks along the main drag. There's one technically here if you don't count the dirt road. Um, I'm actually really happy with how Pan Am turned out. Anyway, back to work. Okay, so this is a town with a different style, This is still a town that is not really. It's not really an image of anything in particular. And it's not the Sacco main that I was originally shooting for. It's definitely gotten out of control. The reason that it's so difficult to capture that sort of idea is because modern towns are so overgrown. Modern towns, like I talked about last episode, uh, modern towns, they are shoving residential into every possible location because I'm not sure if you've heard, but there's kind of a housing shortage thing going on across the entire country. Um, and I mean, I know it's not that there aren't enough homes; it's that they're just being, they're owned by large companies or whatever. They're being used for rentals or et cetera, et cetera. Like there's enough housing stock for everyone to have a home, but that's not the way it is right now. We have a quote unquote housing shortage. Um, Point is, people have been shoving residential into every corner for as long as anyone can remember. Housing shortage or no, people have wanted their own homes, and so subdivisions and things like that, whatever. Yeah, and Matt, you're absolutely right. I really should be looking at old fire insurance maps, like historic aerials, that sort of thing. It's a rabbit hole that I haven't yet gone down. I keep looking at contemporary maps for things, like modern maps for things, instead of diving into the resources I have available. Frankly, that's kind of on me. Um, I didn't really think about it too much. But yeah, no, I absolutely should, and I probably will. And I have no doubt that once I do it, it's going to become part of my Bible. It's going to become something that I go, if you're building around an X era, you need to go look at the maps from that era, and you need to figure out how your towns and your railroads and everything looked from like an infrastructure standpoint. Uh, yeah, and old maps are an addiction. I agree. I used to browse Map Junction all the time, but the site doesn't really work too good anymore. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Map Junction is a good one, although it's mostly Boston as far as I can tell. Um, still quite good. Um, this is going to be a signalized crossing or a gated crossing, um, for show. But yeah, no, I have very little doubt that once I dive into that, which I probably should next time I go to start a town. Um, yeah, no, you're right. I should absolutely put the right kind of road signs there for that. I need to reference the everyone's favorite book, The Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, to figure out what kind of signage I need at the top of that hill. Um, Although I will say, Matt, I feel like your projects are a lot more susceptible to getting lost in map hell than mine, because you need to get to the bottom of something. You need to figure out the answers to the questions you have. I can just look at it and go, oh, so that's sort of what stuff looked like. Um, and that's the beauty of sort of proto lancing or freelancing, really. Um, and yeah, you know what? This works a lot better than I thought. Um, Oh, and it almost lines up perfectly with that. That was unintentional. Um, but yeah, no, I totally agree with you. So, um, honestly, one of my pieces of advice should be don't be a perfectionist. It's just, there is too much to worry about. There's too much. I need to move all these buildings. These are in the way now. Oh man, this was a great place to like leave stuff, and now it's all in the way. Get it out of the way here. That turn is going to take so many lives. But that's traffic engineering in the 1950s. Wing it. Um, get out of here. Yeah, how come nobody made every building for random town in the middle of nowhere? Yeah, that's when you either suck it up or, actually, I was talking about this exact situation last episode, I think, because we were talking about, uh, sort of like paying people to 3D. Oh, we're gonna make an offset intersection, by the way. Oh, this is gonna be awful. All right, we're gonna make an offset. We're gonna make an offset intersection where one of the legs is diagonal. Okay, that's cool. This is atrocious. I had to program a traffic signal for one of these like yesterday. Um, these two are going to be under the same signal controller in real life. They're too close to not be. Although one of them could be a stop control, the other one could be a signal. You probably don't want to do that if both of them are kind of heavy movements. It depends a lot on your signal warrants. So anyway, um, signal warrants, for those who don't know, there are a set of, I think, 8. Hey, Pat. There are a set of, I think, 8 qualifiers to make something a traffic signal. If you take an intersection, you look at the daily or the traffic over 8 hours, you look at the crash report, you look at the traffic in the peak hour, you look at a bunch of other stuff, and if it satisfies, I think it's only one of them. As long as it satisfies one of those things, you can turn that into a traffic signal. Okay, so here's the conundrum, right? We have this road here. We have this road here, and it... Oh, you know what? We have the opportunity to have a level crossing down here, which is not really what I was aiming for at all. But I think I'll just extend this road out to here for now and call it a day. Not a ton of wooden farmy houses. There are some, but yeah, no, there's tons of stuff on the DLS. It's just a question of finding it, you know? This is starting to look kind of real, this area. Okay, so here's where we're at. Here's where I'm at right now, right this second. This is the road that goes along the mill fronts, right? This is the road, and I'm going to actually, let me jump over to Providence because it's my favorite prototype. We're going to look at Valley Street. We're going to look at Valley Street and the river. We're going to measure the distance between Valley Street and the river. It's about 400 feet between Valley Street and the river. And let's see this. I bet it's a little more than that. Oh, a little. But you know what? I'll call that a win. We're pretty damn close to reality. So, yeah, there we go. We've got this, right? We had in the past a set of blocks going like this. And they were pretty closely spaced, but there weren't that many of them. We had probably a set of blocks over here, some houses and commercial district over here, maybe some commercial along this road here. I wanted to make this area sort of like, excuse me, there's a specific district in Boston that is built in a triangle of roads. It's the Bullfinch Triangle District. And that's sort of what I was thinking of when I just drew this road out here. TJ knows what I'm talking about. It was mentioned in the Mass Pike doc, or in the Big Dig documentary. But the thing is, I want to line this up with a different road. I think I want to line this up with this road. And the question is, because I don't like it, but the question is, what happens when you have this diagonal road through a district? Do you just have a bunch of intersections at weird angles? The answer tends to be yes, by the way. But there are a couple of ways to handle it. But I said I want to make roads that are a grid off of this set of roads, or off of this road here. And I think I'll put them over here, which actually means I can cut this road back. Oh, you know what? We'll do it the other way. We'll totally do it the other way. Because this would have been late. This would have been later. This is not a main road. This does not cross the tracks here. And it never would. This is going to get pulled back to right here because I'm going with the other option. This guy is going this way. And, oh man, the fact that we're about to run into the switch is a little annoying. But we'll just pull the switch back. We'll pull the switch back so that it's out of the way. 50 degrees. Let's pull this all the way, as far as we can go. 50 degrees. That's 49 right there. That's 51 right there. We're talking right about there. Not even close. Okay, try that again. Shift it over like that. Much better. Much, much better. Okay. Okay. Let's... Can I get it right, though? Can I get it right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this road's going to cross the tracks here. And probably continue. One of the few roads that does. Would this be late enough where you'd see roads being built over track instead of through level crossings? So, this one was probably grandfathered in. This road's pretty old. This one as well. You know, it would have been in the best interests of the Jefferson and Gilson, or the Gilson Eastern, whichever one built this. I forgot. I got my timeline mixed up. To elevate this stretch of railroad. But the problem is, it would have meant elevating this. And this elevator does not need to be elevated. The elevator was already here. Because this yard was already here. And like I said, we're actually going to make it larger. We're going to add more on this side. So, yeah, because we just have stubs on this side. We need some actual through tracks, because this is going to be the freight yard for Bellington now. And that wasn't my original plan, but I think it's a better plan than anything else that I've had so far. This is going to be the freight yard for Bellington. It's going to be an absolute nightmare to get locomotives over here from the engine facility over here. Which is why they're probably going to come from the engine facility. Well, no, actually, sorry. This, we will probably have the engine facility for this railroad, for the Mansfield Branch Railroad, over here instead. Which means I need to grab the thing. I need to grab the engine house. Oh, wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! The reason that we are using this engine house is because I said the original yard would have been destroyed when they did this whole thing. If we're retconning that and saying that this is the original yard, it means we can use the old school roundhouse that I was originally going to use, that I thought was super cool. Hold on. This might be the oldest surviving roundhouse on the Tolbert Peninsula. You? No, not you. Wait, yes, you. Yeah, because it doesn't have a thing, because it doesn't have a turntable. And I need to figure out how to get a turntable for it. It might use this one. I mean, what happens if I, oh. Wait a minute. Really? Really? It doesn't match to it? That's weird. Pretty sure there's a table that goes with that one. If you can find it, let me know. If you find it, let me know. Because I can't figure it out. I don't know what goes with it. Turntable 1. This one. Nope. Definitely not that one. Turntable A-frame USA OS. No, not that one. So the engine house is the WVRR Fallon Roundhouse. Got a depot, got a water tank. This is narrow gauge, isn't it? Is this narrow gauge? It looks narrow gauge. Hold on. Chain one track with best railroad, best track in the whole game. Nope, not. Never mind. It is standard gauge. Or is it? Is it broad gauge? What is a WVRR? I guess I don't have a. I can't do anything with it. If I put a locomotive, will it open the door? I can't push it through. Oh, it's not connected. Hold on. Let's not connect. Washoe Valley. Oh, okay. Washoe Valley. Okay. Should be standard. Okay. Okay. Why won't it connect? Okay, now it's connected. Do the doors open? Can I open them or do I have to drive through them? Also, boy, does that not fit. Oh, just bare. Okay, you gotta fold in your mirrors to get into this spot. It's also not long enough, but oh wait, maybe it is long enough. Yeah. I mean, no tender, but you know. Yeah, no, this is really cool. That's why I want to use it because it's so old. It's the thing is, this roundhouse would have only survived because it is on the Mansfield Branch Railroad. The Mansfield Branch Railroad does not run a lot of big engines, or really any at all. It is... I think I'll put it a little further back from the track. Yeah. Yeah, Mansfield Branch Railroad doesn't run a lot of big engines. Relatively small. Turntable found. What's it called? I don't know why I have this and not the turntable. Anyway. But yeah, I wanted to use that. I'm glad we're getting to use that because this continuity makes more sense and I can get rid of the brick engine house. Get rid of the search filter, thank you. This is also a very short yard with very short yard tracks. Turntable Armstrong 90-foot Fallon. I guess I don't have... Oh, I misspelled it. I guess I don't have that. You know what? Let's see if we can download one thing without crashing the game. Because I try to avoid doing this. But we're gonna try to download one thing off the DLS without crashing the game. Download station. Fallon layout. Okay. Oh, and there's a bunch of them. I don't want to download all of them because I'm afraid I will crash the game. But there are 4 different versions. Come on. It's erroring to hell and back. Okay. Free caching content. Wow, look how small that is. Yeah, so that's great. I don't know what I'm going to have the I don't know what I'm gonna have this this do. Also, I don't get it. How is this? I need to see a picture of how this is set up. Oh, and it's all grid aligned. Of course it is. So, like this? No. Huh. This is gonna be the question of the day. Oh wait, it's rotating around a point, which is almost certainly the where the turntable is supposed to go. So, okay, so it's like that, I think. Let's connect everything and see how it looks. I mean, obviously this ain't it, Chief. But hold on. Oh, did I miss one? No. Hold on. So, yeah, that looks right. This looks terrible. Okay. Nope, not like that. Um, hmm. Is it supposed to be sort of wee? Okay. Yeah. I'm surprised that doesn't crash the game. Um, it should have basically 90-degree symmetry now. Um, let's see. Like this? No. No, because it's got to be concentric, right? So it's got to be because this is concentric. But that doesn't make sense because it does not line up. Unless I got the... Oh, did I miss one? Oh, I definitely did miss one. Hang on. Oh, shoot. I mean, it still doesn't look good, but I thought I didn't miss one, and I definitely did. Okay. You go there. You go there. Alright, now that looks pretty close. Yeah, that looks closer. That looks about right, honestly. And then I don't know what the well, you know what? I bet it doesn't line up like this. I bet it lines up like I bet there are two tracks on this side. So it actually should shoot. Keep doing that. It actually should be I mean, at least I've learned something, right? It actually should be like this track to here, this track to here, this track here, this track to here, here, this track to here. This turntable is baby. This track to here, and then this one to here, and this one to here, and then I gotta line those suckers up like this, make them as straight as I can without, yeah. I missed one of them. not trying to delete it. I want to attach. And then we will have 2 tracks that are like so. There we go. So something like that. That's what it's supposed to be. I'm guessing. And if that's not how it's supposed to be, it's close enough. And we'll move it in Surveyor 2. So we'll keep it all together, so I don't have to do that again. Back to roads. Back to work. I want to put a very subtle curve in this road. Well, not very subtle, but I want to put a curve in this road. I want it to do a little bit of a ziggy-zaggy to cross the river at a more reasonable point, which will be right here. And then either rejoin the road at a 90-degree angle or just stay at that angle. Yep. I managed. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Like, I appreciate you going to find that. I just figured it out. It took me a bit. I sort of screwed myself because I got confused. I messed up. Okay. So I want to pull this one back because I like the idea that... No, it's fine. I mean, I appreciate that you went and figured it out. 1250, right? I appreciate the idea that there was a concerted effort to build a suburbia at the same size as the one across the river here in Bellington, and that at some point the bottom fell out and they just couldn't make it happen. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this to here, which that'll just be like an expansive pavement, because my goal is I want to run a road this way parallel to this one, but with no blocks. It would just be a road on its own, and then maybe would have some loops or lines coming off of it at only the most important points. And then it would line up with this over here. Because the idea is, if I bring this to here, I bring this to here, and then, let's see, it's got to be like a multiple of 350, right? So, you've got to put this road down here. Okay. 320, 230, yes. Okay, go. Okay, this way, 130, 29, 30, 230. But also, another way to do this easily would be to come to this road here and measure out 1250 at a 90-degree angle, which is 320. See, I missed it by a little bit, but not much. Bring this to right here. We have created a very large box. Be proud of us. And now we need to find a multiple of 350 to put a road on. And this is feeling like a real town finally. The road layout is starting to feel real. It's a little jank, but it's starting to feel real because of it. I also never did the roads I wanted to do over here. I got totally distracted with this. And I'm actually going to jump into Surveyor 2.0 and fix this before I get distracted again. We got to do the roads over here, and we've got to build out the faux subdivision. Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Grab the green, pull it this way. Grab the green, pull it this way. There we go, that's what I wanted to do. Along the direction of travel. That's what Surveyor, that's my favorite part of Surveyor 2. Okay. So, yeah, we got distracted with the other doodad, with the thing about how this isn't elevated. And it was a fair comment, and I'm glad we went on that little adventure, because we figured out that we could use that roundhouse, which I really wanted to use. We may see that roundhouse again up on the VMR somewhere, but it'll be far enough away that if you drive from one to the other, you'll have forgotten that you left from the same roundhouse that you're arriving at. At least that's the goal. So, yeah, I want... Okay, so, two problems, right? One, or well, two conflicting things. One, I want this to be like, I want these roads to come off of this road. Conflicting problems, this road and this road. And I was just talking about how one might resolve that when I got distracted. And honestly, given the arrangement here, I think we should just build them off of this road then. I think we should build them off of this road. Or we should build a road parallel to this one and then build them off of that road, which actually might be the wiser choice. Because then you don't have a bunch of intersections in front of your mills on the main drag. Although, let me look at a real life example. Let me go back to Providence because I know where the mills were. Let's look at, where's Atlantic Mills? You guys can't see this, I'm sorry. If you want, go to Rhode Island and look in Oneyville. That's where I'm looking right now. Similar problem. And they sort of did the worst of both worlds. They have a bunch of really small blocks between Curtis Street and Manton Avenue. And I think that's exactly what we want to emulate. So, let's try to make a parallel road. Parallel road between this one and our hypothetical, a parallel road off of this one. So let's go, let's say 220 feet, perhaps. And then we'll go 220 feet off of this. And I'm going to do the best I can with marking out a second road here. We can say that people just immediately build houses over here. And something to keep in mind is that I will be going through and redoing these road splines. Like, we'll be replacing them with something. They're not going to stay all looking like this forever. It would be horrendous if I did that. And I'm going to parallel that if I can. Let's pull this back to here. And we have a lot of very narrow, like, hold on, I don't want it to be closer than 220. It can be further, I don't want it to be closer. That's 200. That's too close. Too close. 20 feet in this direction, please. And you know what? I can go in Surveyor 2.0 for this. Survey 2.0. Fine adjustment tool or whichever tool this is, and I can just go like that. And I can move this in this direction. Oh, wrong thing. Hitting Control Z makes me nervous for how long that was a... Hitting Control Z while I'm in Surveyor 2.0 makes me nervous for how long that was a no-go in MPS. Alright, there we go. 220, 220, 220. Okay, now we need to make some connecting roads. And we've got to make probably 3 of them. Which, if you ask me, is 1 or 2 too many, but that's the reality of these old mill districts. So we'll go here, and we'll eyeball it, because they're not going to be square. Actually, I should probably bring that closer to make it squarer, after all. And then here. I should try to line those up with the front doors of mills. That would be really something. Let's see. I want to curve this. I want it to be parallel to that road, if at all possible. What is this one? This is angle, please, 290. Never used rulers so much in my life. Even in real life. 290. Measured twice, rode once. If I still gave these episodes names, that's what this one would be called, for sure. And we will do that again. And in fact, I'm starting to think we should have a 4th road here. Or at least I should slide this one over. Yeah, no, I should... it's a tough call. It's a tough call. Let's go into 2.0 and sort this out. And just adjust some road locations. There. There. And back to Surveyor Classic. I feel like there should be a hotkey for that. Road. 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 Yeah, it'd be interesting if these lined up with the front doors of mills. It's like these are the cut-throughs between people's houses that turn into full-on roads. This is awful. As a traffic engineer, I hate this. Hate it a lot, actually. Okay. Maybe. Checking on you. Well, I've got 3 in a box over here, so if you need one, grab one. Is it wired? Oh, well, that explains it. Put new batteries in it. Put new batteries in it, see if it helps. That's always the first thing to check when you have a mouse that's acting funny. It's a wireless mouse. I was trying to play this with an old school ball mouse. I was trying to play Minecraft with it, and it wasn't helping me. Not because the ball mouse there's anything wrong with it. And by ball mouse, I mean the kind with the ball on the bottom. Like this. Not with the ball on the top. There's a bunch in here. I don't know if they have power. There's a couple right here on my table that I took out of something, that I took out of Xbox controllers when I needed to plug them into the computer. I have at least two.
Well, I think this just takes two.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's what I mean.
Oh, I think it just takes one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Here, take this Duracell. Take both of these, and one of them might work. Oh. That explains a lot. There were two of these on my table, and now there's one. There's the other one in your hand. I said take them both.
No. It only takes one.
Okay, but if that one doesn't work, then you have the other one instead of coming over here and saying no, that one didn't work either. Fight me. I'm glad it helped. Oh, I love her. If not to take deadly aim. Okay, let's do this. I kind of want to make it so that I can line these up and have like a normal distance between this and this and this and this and this and this. I don't think that's going to happen. I genuinely don't. I don't think we're even going to get close. But it's worth a shot. So let's take a look at a measurement between here and here. $3.15. Okay. Let's go another $3.15 and see where we're at. $3.15. And then come on. Ooh, really close. Really, really close. Okay. So it's 360 is this last one. 315, 315, 360. So how can I even that out? Can I do 340, 325, 325? Not quite. 330, 333. It's 330. It's 330. It should have just jumped out at me immediately. 330. Nope. 330. And then we'll have to slide that over to meet it. For a second there, I thought it hid the rulers when I did that, which, boy, that would have not been helpful at all. 330, back to Surveyor Classic. And let's clear up. Let's delete the extra ruler now. That one. That one. And then pull 15 off of this one, right? Or something like that. Yeah, pull 15 off of that one, so it's 330 there. And then it's 330 to here, and then it's 330 to here. Perfect! Hello, Mr. Railyard. Welcome to the stream. We are figuring out some roads for a very chaotic-looking town. That it's tough to figure out exactly how chaotic it is. Oh, you know what? I haven't tried this. It's tough to figure out how chaotic it is because when I zoom out, the roads all disappear. If I change my render distance, 5,000. Can I zoom out more and see the roads? Yeah, I can! I should have done that, like, a month ago! Okay. Well, that makes my life easier. And now you guys can see the whole town. Pretty much. It actually feels like a whole town now. And that's really exciting. I did not get railroaded today because I just had to throw, like, 4 figures of dollars at my mechanic. Because long story short, there were a bunch of really annoying... Well, actually, I can't even say that. There weren't a bunch of things wrong with the engine in one of my cars. There was one thing wrong. There were two things. Yeah, there was one thing wrong that led to a problem when the engine had to be disassembled to get at that one thing. Um, there was so my head gasket blew out, which it blew out because there was an overpressure in the oil system, and this all sort of comes full circle. There was an overpressure in the oil system, so the head gasket blew out the back corner, back of the block. Tony had done all the other seals already, so he kind of knew that it was that one all, without even looking at it. Surveyor 2.0. And luckily, it blew out and not in, so I didn't have the forbidden milkshake where the Kool-Aid or the coolant and the oil mixed. The Kool-Aid, yeah. I didn't have the forbidden milkshake where the coolant and the oil mixed. Instead, I just had oil spilling down the back of the engine. And I limped it in to his shop, and he saw it dribbling all over his floor, and the first thing he said was, "Oh my god, put that back in the parking lot." So he took a good look at it. He, of course, diagnosed the head gasket. He said, "Okay, yeah, that's the most annoying one, but we've got to get in there and do it." He takes it apart to get at the head gasket, finds a bunch of oil lines that are basically ruptured, that are totally screwed, that are rubber, but they crack like they're made out of clay. He said, "Here, check this out," and he picks up a rubber hose and he goes, it just came apart. It was frightening. Gloria was outside in the car, but I wish they had seen it. So yeah, we did that. He got in there, he fixed that, he replaced a couple of plastic pieces that had survived 30 years, and it was time for them to go. Plastic pieces had been lodged in the oil lines and stuff like that. So the problem was the head gasket blew. He took it apart. He figured out why that happened, because it didn't just go on its own. And he started replacing stuff. Now, to get the head gasket off, he had to take the head off of the engine. I would love to collaborate. You do great routes, my friend. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I really try. Tolbrin Tolbrin means a lot to me. You know what? I'm getting rid of these roads because they're confounding the road grid. Because those don't make any sense. If I act like there were stubs here, that means there would have had to have been stubs on the other side, and that doesn't make any sense. So he took the manifold off. And he was worried about doing that. He actually called me beforehand and said, "Hey, how do you want me to do this? Because it could get tricky getting this manifold off. Some of the bolts might snap." And I said, "Do it in whatever way is, the easiest for you to get it apart and get it back together. Because the last thing I want to do is give that man more trouble with these cars. The cars give him enough trouble." How far is this? Let's make it 330. Let's go 330. And so he does that. He calls me up. He says, "Okay, yeah, I got the manifold off. It's fine. I only had an issue with one bolt, and that's it's a non-issue." I said, "Okay." And he continues working on the car, right? Classic Tony, just gets to work. He's a god. He's a literal god. He goes to put everything back together, and he takes the cylinder head, or the head rather, not the cylinder head. I keep calling it the cylinder head. It's just the head. It's the head of the engine. He takes that out of the oil bath that it's been vibing in for the last week, and he get out of here, dude. Get out of here. He goes to put it back. He goes to put the manifold back on it and put it back on the engine. And He can't do it. He can't get that 8th bolt to go. He can't get the manifold to mount. And the reason is, he figured it out, there is a tap lodged in the bolt hole from the last person to do this job on this car that broke the bolt off, had to drill the hole out, which is what he was going to have to do, and tap it for a slightly larger bolt so that it could go back on. And the tap was too hard. He could not even damage it. He could not get it to break up. He drilled around it. He couldn't get it to come out. And eventually he just had to give up. And he called me, and he sounded so defeated. He called me, and he's like, all right, listen, I can either put it back together the way it is, but you'll be fighting with an exhaust leak because not like the manifold won't go all the way on. One of the manifold gaskets is going to be only held on by 1 bolt instead of 2. It's liable to come loose and you know, either block the hole or yada yada. But there is another head that's available in New Bedford, and I can go and get it right now if that's what you want me to do. And we talked about it for a while, and I pissed and moaned about it for a while. And I finally said, you know what, if you're going to do it right. Go get the other head and finish the car. And so we did. And it's done today. And I get to go get it, and I get to cut that man a fat check. So I will not be buying Railroader this week, is the moral of the story. But you know, Christmas is coming. I can always pray for Steam gift cards. Santa might bring me something. Mr. Railyard said, I will said my favorite video of yours is the Zombie Train End of Days. And do very like also the remake that Ben the Train Kid did. Yeah, I am super impressed by that remake. I'm super impressed by the fact that somebody likes the End of Days enough to go and make that. Like, that makes me so like happy to see that is that beloved, because it's got plenty of flaws. The original End of Days has plenty of flaws, and I'm not going to sit here and enumerate them. I'm not going to tear it down, but I am appreciative of the fact that despite its flaws, it remains so beloved, and that they decided to. I mean, Ben the Train Kid was not alone in his work, but that they did that. I'm super appreciative of that, of them for making that. And I'm just super impressed, you know? It's really cool. I was consulted on it, I won't lie, you know, I had a hand in it from like a producer's point of view, you know? I helped correct things, I helped answer questions, things that didn't make any sense, you know? Things that 16-year-old me, or however old I was, it must have been 16, I think. 2012? Yeah, 16. Year-old me wrote into... Wait, 2012. 2012. I was born in... Yeah, 16. Yeah, 16. I don't know why that took me so long. You know, I did a little bit of sort of producer-style consulting on that, because I had to answer some questions about me being dumb. Can there be a part 2? There is a part 2. I just never sat down and read it out loud, I don't think. It's called The Pass. I think it's episode like 73. I released that something around there. It's I don't actually know if it's still downloadable. If you find the link and it's not downloadable, hit me up on the Discord and I can dig it up for you and send it to you. It's much longer. It's more involved. I won't say it's a good read, because it has plenty of flaws, just like the other one. But it is a continuation of the story, and there were supposed to be others. I was writing what was supposed to end up being like a 5-book set with Wywold, but like many other things, it fell by the wayside. We ended up making the Iron Horseman Chronicles instead. Um, and, you know, okay. Okay. What's next? I've filled out almost this whole area, all the way up to the railroad tracks. I feel like I should finish filling it out up to the railroad tracks. Um, this has come kind of naturally to me now, which is weird because I'm not sure if it should, given the skew of everything. But you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Um, and I appreciate the I'll help you do it. I don't have a lot of room in my life to start doing more writing epics like that. And that's sort of the issue. That's why I stopped. There was no lack of passion for the Zombie Train. I loved that IP just like all of the others that I have. Um, but I am taking what little free time that I have, and I'm working on Iron Horseman, the motion picture, the novel, which is a sort of postscript for the Iron Horseman Chronicles. I After that, I'm probably going to. I have a script that I need to go back to called the Housatonic, and I have to, or I would like to start on a writing project called the Potlatcher, which is about a hypothetical. It's about a kid who is about to inherit his grandfather's or his father's or sorry, correction, his adoptive father's railroad in an era where uh, unusual mergers created a system known as the Western Idaho and Maryland Railroad out of remnants of the Milwaukee, uh, the uh, the the Western Maryland, and the P&LE, I think, is the other one. So there are unfortunately way too many things. I can't commit myself to doing Zombie Train. It's sort of, as far as my IPs go, it's sort of in last place. You know, it's the kind of thing where I would love to go back and rewrite it from scratch because of the sort of, again, because of the issues with it. But that's ultimately neither here nor there. I I appreciate the fact that people are appreciating it for what it is, for the way it is, and I hope people can keep doing that. I don't think a rewrite would quite capture the magic that I had when I you know that I had when I was first writing it. Because that was something that I banged out like, "Oh my god, I love World War Z. I love, I guess it was just the Zombie Survival Guide. I don't think the book World War Z had come out yet. Um, I love the Zombie Survival Guide. I love Max Brooks's zombie universe. It's, it holds this near and dear the place in my heart, and I love the idea of having a zombie plan and driving the train around in the apocalypse and stuff like that. You know, I think if I were to return to that universe, I would want to sort of reconceptualize it. I'd want to go back to the drawing board, um, and because of that, I think it's best just left. I think it's best left as it is. There is more Zombie Train content that exists. There are multiple half-written books that I don't think will ever be publicly available, but there is the pass that is publicly available somewhere. I'm pretty sure. Should be, anyway. Um, wow, that's Shakwad. Okay. Okay, let's try that again. Um, Matt, what's happening? Matt, what is happening? What's going on? That says it's happening. I'm afraid. Oh, come on. 31 degrees? Come on. Bender. 30 degrees. 30 degrees, 32 degrees, 31. Right, there we go. But yeah. Okay, what did I do wrong here? Oh! I see what I did wrong here. Because it's not perpendicular to those arrows. There we go. I am still going. Hey, Mew. It's only 9 o'clock. It's only 10 past 9. It's not that early. Or not that late. Not late enough for me to turn in anyway. Not yet. I know sometimes I get fed up and I go to bed or you know, I turn in early. But the reason, more often than not, is I'm starving. That's why I end earlier. I did see your ping. I don't have a reason to do anything with that yet. It's one of those things. I'm not sure what to do with it. I appreciate you reminding me about that. Just save that screenshot if you feel like it becomes relevant. It seems like something that would become relevant in Gilson City, actually. Which I don't necessarily mean, oh, yeah, hang on to it for forever. But I just don't know how I would apply it here. Can I send you the pass on Discord? Are we friends on Discord? Are you in our Discord, the Iron Horseman Discord? You know what? I should set a download section on the Iron Horseman website aside. Okay, yeah. Poke me on Discord and I'll send it to you. Let me just find it really quick. While I'm here, before I forget, let me find. I think it's on my K drive. Or R drive, sorry. North Korea, Best Korea. Board. The pass. The pass, .doc. I'm Canadian Pacific lad. Ah, okay, thank you. I can't keep usernames straight. Let me just make sure this is the right document and it's full. Yeah. All right, I have it. I can send it to you. Let me do that right now before I forget. I usually don't break the thing. Hold on. Where are you? Didn't you message me the other day? Yeah, there you are. Yeah, there you are. Okay. The pass.doc. Oh, wait, there was a... Is this it? There was prologue. This is a blank document. There was a prologue. Yes, here it is. Hell in Suburbia. This one and this one. I need to put all this stuff on the website. Hell in Suburbia is a prologue. And then the pass is a book. I hope you enjoy. I really liked. I was very proud of the pass when I finished it. Okay. I like this arrangement. Let's go. Let's bring this to here, and these two are going to meet up and then head out of town. Excuse me. And you can poke me if you have any questions, but I will be honest, I don't know if I'd have good answers to any of those questions because I wrote this 8 years ago, and I was still quite young. So I didn't necessarily know how anything in the world worked. I sure thought I did. You know, that's the thing about being a teenager is you know everything. The biggest fear that I ever had about turning 20 years old was that I wouldn't know everything anymore. Walking Dunning-Kruger effect. Walking Dunning-Kruger graph. Just like, you know, Didn't know a thing. Didn't know a thing, but felt that like I was on top of the world. That's for sure. That's life. I think I'm gonna line this up. I think it feels right to line this up. I was gonna just have a weird skew intersection, but or not skew, a weird offset intersection, but I think I'm just gonna line it up properly. Okay. So you can harass me on stream and get anything you want, pretty much. So I'm supposed to be. I have Green Day stuck in my head. That's an interesting scenario. I'm gonna have to go listen to the entirety of the American Idiot album after this. Okay, I still don't know what to do with this area, and I still don't know what to do with this area. This area, I was looking at, I was looking at an area of Providence, of course, called Woonasquatucket Avenue. Actually, this is North Providence, I think. But, oh, oh, oh. There we go. No, I don't want Dominic and Sons floor covering. The thing with Woonasquatucket Avenue is it's relatively close to the edge here, or to the river, but it's not that close. So that's my hang up, because I wanted to have this as to be a more inland one and this be one that goes this way. I mean, if it is further than 220 feet, I guess it's fine. But why did he pick 3254? There is no in-universe. Well, the in-universe answer is it was the one that was ready to go. The out-of-universe answer is it was my favorite engine at the time. It was one that I had seen in Steam fairly recently. It was one of the few standard gauge locomotives that I had seen in Steam and actually remembered. In fact, it might have been the only one that I actually remembered. Because if I was being smart about it, I would probably take something from the Valley Railroad. I'm in Rhode Island, so Steamtown is the closest place, or was at the time, the closest place to me with mainline steam excursions. There really isn't anywhere else there isn't anywhere in New England that does mainline steam excursions. Until recently, there were virtually no main lines in New England because Pan Am existed. But 3254 was the locomotive that had been running at Steamtown when I was 14, which I went with Emilio, which is an important sort of point of thing. My dad took Emilio and I to Steamtown for like my 14th birthday, and we saw 3254 running because the other one had been put away forever. 2317 was already down, and so that was just the first locomotive that came to mind. It was a mainline, not large, but largest I'd ever seen running steam locomotive. And it actually would be probably the largest locomotive I saw running until I saw the big boy. That's a weird statement. I never thought about that. The stuff in New England is all pretty small. I mean, 2 foot is what the people want. Everybody knows that. But okay, I'm going to have to start marking out 350-foot increments across this. Like 350? Is that what I did over here? 350, yep. Do I like the Empress? Yeah, I mean, I think it's neat. I don't have a particular affinity for it. It's alright. It's alright. It's a neat engine. I'm glad to see it, potentially running. Or, it is running. I hopefully will get to see it running. If I manage to make it out in time for do that. See, Strasbourg 90. Well, no. I had seen 90 since seeing 3254. But I don't think 90 is bigger than 3254. Like, 3254 was the largest engine that I saw until I saw the big boy. Oh, wait. Let's mark off 350. Given that your name is Canadian Pacific Lad, that definitely makes sense that it's your favorite steam locomotive. Oh, I mean, you know what? You can check if you want. I don't know. It depends how you define bigger, I guess. but 90 doesn't strike me as being a larger engine than 3254. 3254 is like a mainline Mikado, and 90 is a decapod, which is a good size, but it's still a Baldwin standard decapod. It's not an I-1, you know. Uh, like I'd seen other locomotives that were larger, just not in Steam. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, I don't think I had seen any larger locomotives in Steam. There was no way I would have. Maybe I have, and it's just escaping me. But Royal Hudsons are OP for the record. But I do like beer cans. Um, Also, Strasbourg was weirdly enough, Strasbourg was scarcely on my radar when it came to the zombie train era of my life. I didn't really start caring about Strasbourg again until uh, until I really like became close friends with TJ. Like TJ and I were. It's weird. I feel like I gained consciousness one day and I was already friends with TJ. We met each other at the Providence Northern, and my mom tells a story like I always ignored him. You know, I just sort of blew him off. And I feel bad for that in retrospect, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was a dumb kid, you know. I didn't know that I would be friends with TJ for the rest of my life. He was just he was in the hierarchy of people I knew, he was a kid that was younger than me, therefore bottom tier, you know? Uh, which is weird to say because most of my friends are younger than me and pretty much always have been. But but I was gonna say something like that. Um, but I wasn't I wasn't super friendly with TJ for no discernible reason. Uh, until one day I woke up and it was like, oh yeah, TJ's like TJ's a great friend. Uh, it was a weird, like, I don't even think about it. I can't pinpoint the moment where I became friends with TJ in a way that like landed on my radar. I can't even tell you, and I don't know why. It's such a bizarre friendship in my life, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I can't wait to see TJ. It's probably going to be by for, well, it's Big E, but before that, we'll probably see him on New Year's, maybe see him on Christmas, and maybe go to Maine. Almost certainly go to, um, almost certainly go to Essex with him before the season is done, because we always do that. That's our Christmas tradition. Um, yeah, no, I'd die for him. Anyway, oh, Mr. Ralliard says, hey, if you're interested, I would love to join your live streams one of these days. I usually do these things solo, but we do community playdates. Stop. We we do weekly community playdates, which I am usually there for. I've been on a real hot streak of missing them lately. That's on me. Um, and you can come and hang out and join the stream. And it's not a stream on here. It's on our community channel, which is youtube.com/. Well, I think if you type in youtube.com/Admiral Ellis, it brings you there, which isn't really what I want to happen, but it is what happens. Actually, let's try this. YouTube.com. YouTube.com/Admiral Ellis. Yeah, brings you to the community channel. That I thought I fixed that, but it takes you to the community channel anyway. YouTube.com/Bombs321. That takes you to the Admiral Ellis channel. That's the one thing I can't fix. YouTube.com/username is like the oldest kind of URL available on YouTube. And I've had those since the beginning of time. Um, so, yeah. Mew asks, "Hey Ellis, did you hear what happened when I attempted to open Railroader on my old RPI laptop?" I'm gonna guess poorly. I think poorly is the right answer here. Um. All right, let's put this here. Do you have a VC chat? Yes, I do. There are several. There are some that are available to fans, which are the like initiate rank, if you will, and then there are more that are available to hobos and horsemen. But you know, promotions are pretty few and far between. You get basically everything on the server if you are a fan, which is a pretty easy thing to get. Um, and yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, I want to connect these with like a broad curve. I don't like that very much. Let's jump in it. Let's save before I screw something up. Save, save. Yeah, we have VCs. We have an event space that we use for the community playdates. I don't usually hop into uh, the fan chat VCs just because I actually don't really have a reason why. I should use them more. But usually if I have time to VC, I'm trying to wind down. Is the Iron Horseman rep private or public? It is public. It's just kind of a pain to get. If you get on the Discord, there's a link in the fake model railroading chat. It's pinned. Somebody asked me this last week. The new fella. But yeah, there is a link to the Iron Horseman route. It's out there. It's available. It is publicly available. It's kind of in a state. It depends on what version of Trainz that you're trying to use, because the Tane version is relatively old, but it is everything that's there is there, including some things that were never seen on camera. There is a much newer version. There's a version for 19, I think, and a version for Trainz 22. That were being worked on by Milky and Jader. And those are available. So, yeah, they're around. Oh, this one's 138. Oh, whatever. I already drew the road. You know the other thing? We don't really have... Well, I'm going to be putting in main drags. I'm going to be redoing these roads, like I said. Railroad or Prairie Branch? Huh? East Whittier, after the flood. Oh, no. Before all the it just crashed when the trees tried to load. That's really funny. You should come over here and play it on this computer, and I will watch and maybe play also. We should do like an Iron Horseman, you know the Steam library sharing you should do? We could do that, but for all the horsemen. Talk to you on VC one of these days. I will have to pop in if I see you in there. It is tough for me to make time for anything, especially right now, is the thing. I have way too much to do. Between the Big E, which is coming up in less than 2 months, the Providence Northern Model Railroad Open House is this coming weekend. 10 to 4 both days, Saturday, Sunday. And I've got to be there pretty much for the whole thing. Because I'm the president. And Christmas is coming, if you haven't noticed. And now, of course, I have to worry about everything. Like, I have plenty to worry about because I'm about to give my mechanic $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. $1 more billion. Yeah, the biggie is coming up very quickly. I will definitely not be buying anything now that I have both cars. But at least I have both cars. But you know, someone else in this room might end up buying stuff the biggie. I'm doing another open house and volunteering museum down in Connecticut. I went by the Connecticut Trolley Museum again today. I got closer this time. I still haven't laid eyes on it, but I was within a block. Because I was doing stuff at the Mew. Do you know the place right across the street, practically from the trolley museum? Hold on. What is it called? It is the East Windsor Trolley Museum. It is next to the W.B. Mason. It's yeah, next door to the W.B. Mason. You take a left out of the Connecticut Trolley Museum, you go by the W.B. Mason on your right, and then what is the next thing you pass on your right? Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I need to know. It doesn't even show up on Google Maps. It doesn't tell you what it is. The business is not listed on Google Maps. Oh wait, there it is. There it is. It took a second. Oh yeah, that Rare Order stream with Heist was a lot of fun. It was. I mean, I wasn't planning on being there. I saw him streaming and I went, oh, you know what? I'll pop in and say hi to Mark. And you know, it was Mark and Weibold is like my best friend. So I was like, oh crap, I haven't talked to that man in forever. And by forever, I mean a couple of months because I was in, you know, I was in Colorado. Um, I was riding. If you've seen the picture of Heist and Weibold on the pop car, I was, I too have ridden on that pop car. It was a lot of fun. I'm amazed I did not fall off, but yeah. Okay, I actually want to pull this back to here-ish, maybe here even. And then I want to come out with it like this. Try to follow the river a little bit. So not really. I volunteered at the Shoreline Museum. Damn, I thought you volunteered at both for some reason. I don't know how you would have had time for that. But the point is, the thing next door to W.B. Mason, which is across the street from the Shoreline Trolley Museum, is Mardi Gras 2 Adult Entertainment Club. And I had to park at Mardi Gras 2 Adult Entertainment Club today because we were doing work on the signal that's directly in front of the building. And I was like, oh no. Was that you or him? Oh, that was him. And man, the place looked woof. It looks like the place where you get COVID-20. What is important to pass on to future rail fans? Mr. Railyard, I appreciate you and your thought-provoking questions. Honestly, that's a tough question because there are a lot of potential answers here. A lot of them are a little bit cliche. Like I could just say respect, you know, respect for the people that have done all this work before. And that's an easy one. But like I would love to say something profound. I would love to say something profound right now. And the best thing I can come up with is what's important to pass on to future rail fans is everything you see in preservation is the result of a lot of hard work by a lot of people. And yes, you should respect that, but above all, if you want to see more of it, get involved. Even the littlest amount. Even volunteering to be a car attendant at your local scenic railroad that has a 44 tonner and one coach, that sort of thing. It doesn't matter how rinky dink an operation looks. What matters is that there are people working on it. Even the littlest amount of effort that you can put in is super important because everything we have is based on tons and tons of effort. Um, yeah, and well, yeah, don't let other people get you down, but that doesn't go for just rail fans. I agree with you, Dean. Don't let public opinion of rail fans are so dumb. Uh, but honestly, I feel like that's more of a straw man than like I don't want a straw man. I think we don't need to be not worrying about the people that don't care about our passions. It's so secondary. What's important is if you care, putting that care to use. And that's, you know, and once you do that, once you get involved in preservation, once you really start putting in the legwork, you will almost automatically gain a lot more respect for the people that have done all the other things. You may not think much of this person or that person. There's plenty of bad blood to go around in railroading preservation for one reason or another. For the good, for the bad, for the ugly. But uh but all of that, all of those people have put in effort, and even if they are irreverent for one reason or another, or I mean, I say irreverent, it's kind of the wrong end of it, but it's more important to focus on what has been done, what can be done. That's the important part. That's what I want to pass on. That's what I want to embody, really, because I don't feel like I do enough. And you don't need to feel bad about not. But if you care about railroading and preservation, get involved. That's your one-stop shop for being a part of it. And I mean, the benefits speak for themselves, right? I got to ride around in the pop car with Weibold, with Brett. Uh, I got to hang out with Heiss in his own house. I got to do this and that. And I'll be honest, like to go back to I'm the luckiest person on earth. Uh, that didn't happen because I saw Heiss on YouTube and decided to follow him. That happened because Southern Michigan or Northern Michigan. Yeah, I'd like to get up to Northern Michigan someday. It's a cool area. Um, uh, Sorry. My friendship with Mark is almost outside of anything railroading. It's really tangentially railroading. Um, I figure, I mean, I might as well tell this story now. Why not? Um, I, was making videos in 2011, 2012. I had a vanilla Minecraft server that was open to the public. And on pops this kid with the username Wybold4449, and he immediately starts building trains. Like, it's vanilla Minecraft. He's building trains here and there, and whatever. He hops into our Skype group called the Warships Crew, and eventually becomes a part of our little Warships mini games, and we get friendly. Eventually, we start making a podcast together called the Terminus Podcast with a couple of other folks from the Warships Crew, which is now transitioned the people who like Trainz in there have, including myself, have made a secondary group called the Iron Horsemen. Yes, we started on Skype, and we're making a podcast together called The Terminus, and um, we're talking about making a full Buccaneers inspired um, program, right? But Weibold, Brad, is thinking about, and this is not necessarily the order that it all happened in, but at some point he's thinking about volunteering at his local museum, the Colorado Railroad Museum. He walks in there, they say, hey, this guy looks like he'd be good to put in a throttle. He's really tall. He gets brought onto the crew. He helps put the throttle in 491. They get the thing fired up, running on the main line. Mango gobbles. And, and he meets this fella, Mark. I think this is the order in which it went. But maybe he knew him beforehand. But point is, he ends up working with Mark at the Colorado Railroad Museum. Does that for several years. Mark leaves, moves to Seattle, yada yada. I don't need to tell his story. And eventually becomes a YouTube sensation. Now, I am oblivious to all of this. I've heard of Mark in passing. I don't know him as Heiss. He's just a dude, Mark, from the museum, whatever. Mark and Leighton. And one day, when Weibold is busy with his own life, and he's, hasn't been around the Iron Horsemen so much anymore, and I'm managing the place full time, blah, blah, blah. And I've got my own life too. We're not hanging out as much and playing games as much. And I say, and he says to me one night when we're just chit-chatting, oh, I'm just going to go play Railroad Tycoon 3 with Mark and Leighton. And I had no idea this was going to be streamed. And I say, oh, could I get in on that? Like, that sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't played Railroad Tycoon 3 since I was little. And he said, yeah, sure. And we jump on a stream on Heiss's channel and play Railroad Tycoon 3, and the rest is history. Mark is a great friend. He's an awesome dude. I am pleased to have met him. And I'm hyped for Century of Steam, but who isn't? Anyway. That's probably not the last time I'm going to tell that story. I think it's really the first time that I've laid it out like that. It's just a series of coincidences, Weibold found me on YouTube. He happened to live in the proximity of the Colorado Railroad Museum, so he got involved with that. And Mark just happens to be the guy who's creating Top Gear, but for trains. Top Gear for foamers, right? And isn't that magical? Isn't that wonderful? I'm the luckiest person on Earth. That's my thesis. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay. We need to know what we're going to do with the rest of the road grid here, but we're doing pretty well. Yeah, it's amazing how things fall together. You know what else I consider chronicling like that, Mew? How we met again. Because I didn't, I feel like we were acquaintances, and now you've been over my house several times. Also, we met because of Mark, because of those streams. If it weren't for Weibold joining my Minecraft server in 2012, I don't think we'd know each other now. Oh, man. I don't know how I can top that. That is such great energy. And yeah, no, Matt, I agree. Friendships are a series of coincidences. Amazing coincidences, but nevertheless. Oh, man. Okay, we have a road network. Oh, boy. I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath. Oh, boy. Yeah, we have a road network. We need to build more rail yard. And honestly, I don't really know how I'm going to do that. I need to look at some. I need to look at some. Hmm. I need to look at some plans of yards that are similar. The stub tracks are reminding me of Chattagay on the NEB&W, which is sort of what I was going for. Um, and I was gonna have this center track be the main line, but I think this is gonna be the main line. Learned how to reskin for Trainz and offered some assistance in this very same project. Yeah. Oh man, I love every single one of you. Um, I need to put more tracks in. We need to get more tracks because this is going to serve this entire town now. Originally, the yard was going to be over here. This yard is going to be just for grain now. This yard has to handle all of the traffic for all the mills here, 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 here. We might end up putting in another one. Need to put a turntable. Oh, you missed that. You missed that. I got one. Right here. We do have a turntable in Roundhouse. We will. And because we retconned this as being the original yard for Bellington, we're going to be able to use the OG turntable. So, I don't have it in me to sit down and do more track work right now, but I will lay some more yard tracks at least. Let's see. I think how to line these up. Because these are lined up with the spline point at the edge of the rail, which I think that's going to be it. Yeah. Yeah, to come back to the important thing is understanding the work and know-how that goes into even the most basic tourist line. The fact is that track work is a constant no matter what railroad you're working on, and track work is a lot of work. Mew and TJ can attest. We replaced like half a dozen ties on the WWF, and those are little ties because it's 2-foot gauge, and they were a lot of work. It was fun though because we were hanging out with like a dozen people our age, who were just spouting heist memes constantly. We were part of it. All right. Let's put this here. I wielded the stick. Yeah, you did. You definitely used the hell out of that stick. I got a shovel. I had apparently the worst shovel on the entire railroad. I had a shovel that was so bad that when I was trying to use it, everyone was like, "Oh, that shovel sucks. Go get a different shovel." Like they knew. Like they knew it was bad. Before I even touched it. Yeah, everything else in New England seems like a mecca for meme millennials. Yeah, no, that's very fair. Some shovels just suck. Okay. So, I want these all to be... We need to figure out how to get more storage here. I think we're talking 3 more through tracks, right? 3 more through tracks that come off of here. And then... at least one... See, the thing is, we need probably a track that goes on this side of the road to go to the cement plant, right? Yeah, probably a track that goes on this side of the road to go to the cement plant. And maybe some stub ends down this way. And Mr. Railyard, I think that's the last comment I'm going to be able to respond to before the end, because I might go on a little bit of a tirade. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I would love to see 3254 run again. And I also agree that I don't think it's going to happen. However, I think what we will see, instead of seeing 3254 run again, is we will see 3377 run again. The reason that 3254 is like at the back of the queue, aside from timing, because yeah, timing does matter, is the fact that it has a bent frame and it eats axle bearings. Uh, the folks that know Steamtown can tell you more about it than I can, but that's what it does. And yeah, it eats axle bearings. It isn't great. It has a bent frame. It needs comparatively less work because of that, or maybe it needs, it needs more work, but it needs less work but more TLC in the long run than the world's largest 080 3377. And I think it is much more likely that we see a 3377 return to Steam with 3254's boiler and appliances and front and rear, pilot and trailing wheels, then we do see a 3254 return to Steam in its current form. Now, if they were to throw everything from 3254 onto 3377 and then call it 3254, I would not complain. Some people would, because they insist that the important part of the locomotive is the frame, and everything else is, you can replace that, but the frame is what makes the locomotive. I don't know who those people could be, but they would also like me to tell you that the K-37s are not rebuilds. But anyway, the fact of the matter is 3254 or 3377, yeah, 3254A. Oh, hey, TJ. 3254 or 3377 is going to be at the back of the queue because, yeah, can you imagine if Elon Musk like trains instead of rockets? That would be ridiculous. Also, probably be the first railroad park to get straight up canceled. Yeah, 2317 is ahead of 3254 in the queue. It's as simple as, I don't think 3254 or 3377, a Canadian S1B Mikado. I'll just say that. One of the S1Bs is probably going to come back within our lifetimes at some point. What number it'll have on it is anyone's guess. It could have 3277 for all I know. They're going to use half the numbers from one and half from the other. But yeah, 2317. They actually really like that locomotive over at Steamtown. It's been a good runner, or it was a good runner for them, etc., etc. Like they have reasons to love it. And meanwhile, 3713, which has been being worked on for like 35 years at this point, looks like it's finally going to be getting a second wind since they've canceled their contract and are, as far as I can tell, saying, fine, I'll do it myself, because they were less than impressed with the amount of progress that was happening on 3713. So I don't think it's unfeasible that 3254, or sorry, I don't think it's unfeasible that an S1B returns to service in our lifetimes, but I don't think it will be 3254. I would like it to be, because that engine will always hold a special place in my heart because of the zombie train, among other things. But I wouldn't bet on it. So, yeah, no, and they should absolutely take the Constitution and just run it around the goddamn world. That should be the American Freedom Train 2 locomotive. It's called the Constitution. QED, like, end of discussion. And also 5550. They should double head. Still have a copy of the past sitting on my desktop. Awesome. Well, I'm glad somebody has it, because I wasn't sure I did for a second there. Alright, I need to pull this back, otherwise this is going to be a really awkward turnout. Pull, 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 pull. There we go. That's the other thing Surveyor 2 is good. Well, I guess that's the same thing. So that's my favorite things about those. These are a few of my favorite things about Surveyor 2.0. Okay. This is a short yard. This is a model railroad size yard. Um, Still expecting a sequel. Yeah. 3713 and 1362? 1361. Well, yeah, of course, the standard locomotive of the world definitely needs its time in the sun, I agree. You know what would be really... It would be... Ooh. I might pay a lot of money. There needs to be a lot of work with Steamtown in general. Yeah, no, yeah, well, they'll figure it out. It's never been the same since F. Nelson Blount died, and it never will be, because just like Age of Steam, you need someone who's willing to shovel their life savings in the general direction of steam locomotives, and that's not something that happens every day. Oh hey, Ryan, he's Steam Man. But yeah, no, it's we're almost over time here, but I still have enough time, so I'm gonna keep talking. And I lost my train of thought, so how will I keep talking now? Yeah, no, Pacific. I would pay an awful lot of money to see 3254 and 1361 side by side, if only to get a grasp on the size comparison. Because I genuinely have no idea. Like, no idea what that would look like. I don't know what this is, by the way. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I built that. Because 3713 is a really big Pacific, but 1361 is also a really big Pacific. And yeah, no, you're right. 1361 will probably visit Steamtown once it's up and running. I wouldn't be super surprised if they didn't. Mew, do not. Mew, shut. You missed me talking about all the money I just pointed in Tony's direction. I'm not buying anything. We need those people that run the Curse of Oak Island levels of dedication. Oh man, I was stuck in a bar the other night waiting for a tow truck, and the guy was getting jazzed about Curse of Oak Island coming on, and I was like, they still make that show? And he's like, yeah, they're gonna find something. They're so close to finding something, and I'm just like, okay, call me when they do. You know, I'll be very surprised and excited. Oh man, I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but it doesn't add up to me. Yeah, they find more dirt. Oh man, no, there's no way. I can't be buying stuff. I would love to own both of those things. I own a CN Mikado, but it's a USRA one. The goal was always to have someone turn it into a This only has one entrance on this side. That's a bummer. The goal was to turn it into a 3254, but I've never had the money to ask somebody to do that. Jader is more important than that. We need him to do other things. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Go this way. Look at this team. There are Steamtown routes floating around, or at least half-built ones, but I think they're all private. That's the issue. I think they're all private. I too would love a Steamtown route. We were planning on doing a sequel, not a sequel, like a sequel series to um, to the Iron Horseman Chronicles if we ever got that far, called Saturdays at Steamtown, and it would be exactly what it sounds like. Um, and that would have been so much fun. All right, I don't like this. I need to figure out what we're doing with this. So I'm working on full Poconos, right? Yeah, but I don't think it's Steamtown era. I thought it was like an older era route. Yeah, exactly. Blount and the gang get up to shenanigans. Okay. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I'll figure out how to tie this engine house in the future. We have almost something up. We have a yard. We have maybe the best looking yard I've ever built in Trainz. So, you know, there's that. Repaint the RS3 to sand, yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching this episode of Under Construction. We have lots of roads now. I'm very excited. I'm getting very excited about the road network here in Bellington and South Bellington. Let's take a look at it. We've got this area over here. We've got this over here, which is still sort of underdone. We've got this area, the residential district we worked on a while ago. It's exciting. What we need to do is we need to expand a little bit on this side of the river, I think. On this side of the river and this side of the highway, because that's what's lacking right now. That is, you know, this is where the yard was, right? So, anyway, thank you, folks. See you next week. This is the Admiral.